Hey everybody, this is Hobbit, and I'm going to do a few gear review videos because I've gone on a few trips and I've gotten a few things here and there, and I've gotten a bunch of questions from posts on Instagram and YouTube videos and other stuff on a few things that I've done. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the Royal Gourmet 3-burner griddle, and it is awesome. Here's the griddle. I got this a while back on Amazon. And before I started the video, I checked some prices. This is a 3-burner griddle, and right now you can get it on Amazon for right about $100. It's like $98 or something like that. You can get a 2-burner griddle on Walmart for about 80 bucks, and it's about the same on Amazon. The reason I got this griddle, frankly, is the size. Before I had this griddle, I had a small Coleman stove, and I had just like a griddle pan, or like a little flat cover or griddle that went over the 2 eyes. And the problem I had with that is it was so small that I'd cook some sausage or bacon or something, and then I'd have to put it to the side to cook some pancakes or whatever. And by the time I get done cooking the pancakes, the bacon is cold, and or I'd cook some burgers, and I'd get 1 or 2 done, and then they'd be cold. And so anyways, I just wanted something that was big, that could handle everything at one time. Because when I go camping, I got 3 kids and a wife and myself, and it makes it a lot easier to cook everything on this at one time. And that way, when everything's done cooking, it all gets done about the same time. The food stays warm and all that kind of stuff. In terms of the size of this griddle, the cooking surface, I've got a little tape measure here. It is 25 inches wide and about 14 inches deep. And so I will tell you that I have cooked an entire package of bacon on this, plus an entire package of breakfast sausage links on this at the same time. I've also cooked about 10 burgers on this at one time, and you can cook about 6 to 8 pancakes at once, depending on the size of the pancake. So this thing is awesome. A few things that I really like about this griddle is that the actual griddle itself comes off, and it's really heavy duty. It's well made, and this makes it really easy to clean. But the other thing is I really like the lip right here, where I'm wiggling my fingers. It's pretty tall. It's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches around the back, and that just makes it really convenient. The other one that I had, the little camping stove, and then the griddle that I put on the 2 eyes, it was flat all the way around, and so if you're trying to flip something or whatever, it might slide off the edge or something like that. So I really like that feature. The other thing is that it has a grease trap right here that's built into the grill, and it has a removable right here on the side. It has a grease trap, and that's really convenient. I read a bunch of reviews on this before I bought it, and a few things that pop up are, one, that it's really hard to control the temperature. That was a complaint of a lot of people. The other thing is that apparently the cooktop would kind of wobble on people, and I have not experienced that. What I'll tell you is that the bottom on the back here, there are little screws that fit into the holes in the base, and on the back there's some nuts that help you kind of level the cooking surface. And so if you're somewhere where like I usually set this up on the picnic table at the campsite, and if it's not level or something, then I'll use these nuts on the back to make sure I can kind of level the cooking surface so that the grease runs to the hole and goes into the trap. So I think that these are really handy, and they've worked really well for me. In terms of controlling the heat on this, I will tell you that the first few times that I used this, I did have some trouble figuring out how hot this thing gets, but what I'll say is it definitely gets hot. I mean, really, really hot. And it usually, just because of the way that, like I just described, those nuts that you can use on the back to level the cooking surface out, it's usually kind of slanted. The back kind of stands up a little higher than the front. So the heat from the eyes underneath, it generally kind of goes up and around up behind the back. And so towards the back of the griddle, it usually stays a lot hotter than the front. I have cooked with this outside and in cold temperatures. And a trick that I use to try to make the heat, distribute the heat evenly on the griddle is you can take aluminum foil and wrap it around the edge where it kind of hangs down around the sides and the back. And what that does is kind of force the heat towards the front, and it makes the cooking surface a lot, the heat on the cooking surface a lot more even. If you wrap the aluminum foil around the sides, like I just described, the trick to doing that is just take a fork and poke a few holes along the sides and along the back, just to kind of let some of the heat escape. And if you do that, then I have found that if you can keep the eyes on the lowest setting, or turn the knob to the lowest setting, and this thing stays really, really hot. The trick that I have learned for cooking pancakes on this and learning the heat is, what I usually do is I cook bacon and sausage and stuff in the morning, and once I get all the meat cooked and I kind of scrape the grease a little bit, what I do is I turn the eyes off, and this thing gets so hot that if you wait just a minute or two and start cooking your pancakes, then you can cook the pancakes on this thing without the heat on, and you can give it a second to cool down. And after you kind of finish your first batch of pancakes, you just turn the eyes back on and turn them to the lowest setting, and you're good to go. You can cook pancakes in like 2 seconds. It works great. When I bought this on Amazon, it came with a cover, and it also comes with a regulator hose. And this is, I believe this is 3/4 on this end, and this end just fits into a normal 20-pound propane tank. I have some adapters and stuff where I can use the little cans, but because this has such high output, it's like 27,000 BTUs or something. It generally works better if you just use a 20-pound tank. What I'll say is, one of the things that I want to try to do is, my camper has a quick connect on the outside, and so I have ordered a quick connect hose adapter, so that and it's like 10 feet long, so that I can just hook this up with the quick connect on the outside of the camper, and I can use it that way, so I don't have to lug around another propane tank. I can just use the one that's already on the tongue of the trailer. And so I'll post some pictures of that once I get the hose, but I don't have it yet. I have been just thrilled with this thing. It's awesome. And in fact, I got this as a Father's Day gift this last year, because my wife was going to buy me a grill, and I said, hey, I don't really want a grill outside, just because they're kind of high maintenance, and they get real dirty, and they usually just rust and fall apart. So what I wanted is something that I could use camping, and something that I could use inside, and something I could use outside. And I've used this inside, and I use the adapter with the little cans. I put it on the countertop and cook breakfast for the boys. I've done like a stir fry on this thing. I've used it outside on the back patio for burgers and stuff like that. And I've used it for tailgating, put it on the tailgate of the truck, and keep the propane in the back end, and cook that way. And this thing is just, it's got so many uses. It's easy to move around. It weighs about 30 pounds, so it's not heavy, or it's not difficult to move or lift or anything like that. And honestly, once you take the actual griddle off of the base itself weighs almost nothing. So I've been just really pleased with this. I think it's a great addition to any kind of camping that you want to do or outside activity, and would highly recommend it. Hope you found this helpful. Hope you enjoyed the video, and like always, like, share, comment, subscribe, send us flowers, and we appreciate you watching. Thanks.